What is going on, guys? If you follow me on social media, you would have seen I asked for questions for a Q&A video, and that's what we're doing right here. So, I guess I'll just get right to it. I'll start with Instagram, and then move on to Facebook, and then Twitter. And then, hopefully I answer all your questions. If you're not following me on social media, then you should on the other ones. Twitter is at Matt6Berries. Instagram is at 6Berries, 6Berries. And Facebook is, if you search Matt6Berries, you'll find me there. So, then you can keep up and ask the questions you want to know next time. So, at Scott Oberbeck, my buddy from Florida, asked precision driving or drifting. That's really tough. Precision driving, like time attack is what I would assume he was looking at. Precision driving is cool because it's measurable, but I've been a skateboarder my whole life and a surfer, and those are sort of just meant to do and know that you're progressing without having a measurable thing. But it's cool having a number where you could be like, I'm faster than you, or whatever, you know. But I say drifting. Drifting's just more fun. At Andrew_6berry, my brother. What up, Andrew? He asked me a few questions. First question he asked was, what was your first major project? I would assume he's looking for automotive project. So that, I would say, would be, as far as major, I would say it would be my 1948 Plymouth. So my dad bought it in '05, worked on it a little bit, got it running and stuff, didn't do any crazy modifications to it, and then he let it sit for a while, maybe 3 or 4 years, and then I got it when I was about 15-ish, got to work on it. We started fucking that thing up, a whole lot of rust repair, because it was rusty as shit. My dad and I did a frame swap. We pulled the frame out from under it and put it on an S10 frame, did air ride, shaved door handle, shaved all the trim. We swapped a 350 small block Chevy into the S10 frame. All kinds of stuff. I learned so much, and so did my dad. We both learned a lot on that project. It was pretty good. At El Jefe 27 asked, are you enjoying the move as much as you thought you would? He's talking about the move from Florida to Colorado that I did 2.5 years ago. And yeah, I really am. I do miss Florida sometimes, but it's kind of cool here. Like, you know, cold, and we got heat in the shop, so we can make the temperature whatever we want it to be. The economy out here is way better. The people are generally nicer. So, yeah, come out to Colorado. Come kick it with us. Next question from Andrew6berry. How long did it take you to make your first death cart? It depends, you know, what you mean by it, but the quick answer is it took like 20 minutes. So my car was already like a full-blown drift car, missile car. It had rear over fenders, and the whole quarters were cut. And there wasn't anything in the car. So me and my buddy Brad were just at my shop one night, and we were just like, yo, let's fucking do this. So we cut the body off my car, and it took no time at all because a lot of stuff was already cut. As far as, you know, the entire project, I'm still working on it, so it's a tough answer. At TwitchMasterFlex, which is Corey that works for me, asked, how much would it cost to buy Sideways Fab? And if you've sold it, what would you do next? That's a good question. I'd sell Sideways Fab, like, you know, you get all the inventory and the business and everything. I really wouldn't sell it for less than like $500,000. Maybe a little bit less. I don't know, 400. I never really thought of it. We have, as far as used inventory listed on our store, we have $130,000 of that stuff. My tools and everything are another maybe 100,000. Because I have a plasma table that's worth, you know, who knows what, 15-ish. Then lifts and blah blah blah. So yeah, probably 400,000 or 500,000. If I sold it, what would I do next? I have no idea. I don't have the slightest clue. I wouldn't be able to work a normal job because I just am not that type of person. I never have been. I don't know. I'd just start another business doing something. I'd make some kind of cool shit. At Sideways Fab asked, how does it feel to be Employee of the Month for 69 months in a row? Damn, what an honor. Thank you, Sideways Fab. I feel so honored. At pocoyo.exe said, opinions on the Toyota GR Yaris. That thing is dope. I've heard some people hating on it, but I don't know a lot about it, but like it's all-wheel drive and it's like wide body, and it's made by Gazoo Racing and it's a Toyota, so like it's got the formula to be really dope. At Hillbilly Hustle Hustle 239 said, how many burnouts have you done in your shop? If you start with my if you start with my first shop, Sideways Fab V1, 1,200 square foot shop, we didn't do a whole lot of burnouts in the shop while I was there, but after I moved out, we had a party where we did probably about 5 people do burnouts, including Greg brought a Mustang by and just like fucked all of us up in our stupid little drift cars. And then in my second shop, the one on Stand Drive, that one didn't get a whole lot of car burnouts in it, but it did get a lot of motorcycle burnouts with me and Zach. And then this shop is just kind of like it's just like a shit show. We just go in on it here. So I would say it's not quite 50, but it's probably getting up there. It's definitely more than 20. At South Dakota said, you get 6K for a track build. You're only allowed wheels and coilovers as mods. What do you get? That is a tough one. I mean, you can't quite get an S2K for that yet. You can get an RX-8 for that, and you know, that's proven. Honestly, you can get a really shitty FRS for 6K. You can't buy wheels and coils, but then you're on shitty stock tires. Yeah. Give me a minute. Honestly, I'd go with an SRS 13, just because Corey's KAS 13 was awesome, but it was a little bit lacking on power. And you could still get them for around that price, and then, you know, you throw some really cheap-ass wheels on it, some fucking XXRs or whatever, and then some decent tires, even some Federal RSRRs, and some half-decent coilovers like some BC, and you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good. That would be a good setup. And I love S13s, even though they're not the best. At 2Bits Barber, Asher with the R32 that we're doing the LS swap on, asked, Jap Motors versus American V8. And that's a tough call as well. Both of them have benefits. There's not a perfect motor for any chassis, really. You know, I wouldn't want to put an LS in this thing because it's rear engine and that's a lot of weight back there. JZs are great. 13B REW. Any LS motor is great in a lot of things. I don't want to put an LS in my RX-8 because it adds a lot of weight to the front and I want to keep it fairly balanced, which is already tough because it's so easy to pull weight from the rear. I would just say, to answer that question, I would say Jap Motors because there's more choices and there's more options, whereas American V8 is a very small category. You know, you for the good ones, you got the LSs, and then you got like a Ford Coyote is good but expensive, and then you got the 5.0, which kind of sucks but it's cheap, and then yeah, I would go Jap Motors because it's more versatile. There's more options. At Jacob Grima said, when do you get back into the Porsche build? God, joke's on you, buddy. I am in the Porsche build right now. No, I'll get started on it soon. I don't know. You can't really see Jacob's car. Yeah, you kind of can. Jacob's car right next to us. I'm working on that, which is also a SEMA build. You'll see a video of that soon. But once I get his out of the way, then I can focus on this as much as I can focus on anything, which is not very good. At Mike _drifts, which is my buddy Michael Kelly from Florida. Miss you. With the Hellcat Miata that, you know, you probably know of. When are you moving back to Florida? I'm sorry, I'm not. Colorado is better. But, Mike, when are you moving to Colorado? Because I know you love Colorado, so get your ass up here. At Emil _Castro 295 said, where's the death carts? Well, one's out back of my shop and one's out front of my shop. The one out front of my shop is running and driving. I drive it sometimes, but it's kind of cold right now. The one out back is my S13 cart, and it is all torn apart right now, and I was in the middle of redoing a lot of stuff on it, and then I just keep getting so busy with other things, and I don't know when I'm going to get back to it, but I need to, because I miss it. It's so much fun. God. At Carlos Wolf 13 said, did that car that was stolen ever get recovered? It was the green one. Yeah, that was my buddy Spencer's car. It did get recovered, but I don't know whatever happened with it. I know when somebody found it like on the side of a highway or something, and it was not in the condition that it got stolen, which sucks, because it was a really nice car and he put a lot of work into it. But yeah, at least he got it back in some form. All right, now on Facebook we got Jared Reynolds asked light bars before lockers, and usually I like function before form, but I don't like going off-road, so I got light bars before lockers rather than lockers before light bars, because, you know, I like modifying things, so you got to modify it somehow, but I don't like going off-road, so, like, you know, in that case, light bars before lockers. But I'm gonna put a light bar on the front of my truck soon, which is, you know, sort of stupid, but it looks cool. And then I'm gonna bag it, and then that makes it like entirely useless for truck things, but it tows sweet. Adam Denny said, what's your favorite Britney Spears song? I don't really know many Britney Spears songs, but I'm gonna say Toxic because that's one of the few Britney Spears songs that I know. And yeah, we'll just go with that. Didn't get a name for this one, but what were you getting into before you started your business? This is a thing that not a lot of people actually know. So before I started my business, I was in school. I was in the FIT, the Florida Institute of Technology, which is like a really nice private university for mechanical engineering. And then while I was in school, I started my business just as sort of like a, you know, side thing to make some money and work on my friends' cars at my shop. And then I kind of realized that I don't want to work a desk job being an engineer, so then I was like, nah, fuck this. I'm going all in on the shop, and here we are. Worked out pretty well. So, drop out of school, do cool things. Drop out of school and do burnouts with your friends. All right, now we got Twitter. At Nick Rosas JZ said, would you prefer nighttime or daytime 24/7 and why? I would prefer nighttime because people don't bother me, and I get more things done from like 8 p.m. until 2 a.m. than I do from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and I'm a nocturnal creature, and I like nighttime. At Windows Main, which is my buddy Grant from Denver, said, how long did it take you to get your shop started to a point that you weren't scared of it not working out? I mean, I was never really scared of it not working out because I can do it. I can do anything. Like, if it fails, if it still fails, I'm in a bit of a pickle. But if it still fails, you know, I'll still find something to do and I'll move on. So I was never really scared of anything like that. But as far as when I was confident that it was a self-sustaining business, was about two to 3 years after I even started, but that was primarily just because I fucked off more than I should have been working. But if I just focused on work, I could have been fine from probably a couple months after I started. So don't fuck off. At Cooper Siemens, said, what would be the proper process of building a car, like general steps you should follow? There's really not a proper process, and it really depends on what build you're doing and how far you're building it. So that's kind of difficult to give you an answer. The best way to do it, I would say, would be focus on one aspect. No, not even really. Pre-plan. Plan. If you plan ahead, that'll save you a lot of headache and a lot of time from doing things multiple times. You know, redoing stuff over and over. If you know, you're planning on doing some sort of brake upgrade and some sort of suspension upgrade, or if you have an S13 and you want bigger brakes, but you also want to go 5-lug, don't upgrade your brakes when you're 4-lug, and then go 5-lug later on and have to upgrade your brakes again. And then if you can afford it, install your 5-lug. This is just an example. You know, install your 5-lug at the same time you're installing your front coilovers and your new wheels, and then you only need to pull everything off of each corner once rather than 3, 4, 5, 30 times. But yeah, as far as the proper process, there really isn't one. Like I tell a lot of people, everything needs done. You know, everything that you want to do needs to be done. So it doesn't matter what order you do it. So like as far as my Porsche goes, I can do the interior all at once. I can do the engine and engine bay all at once, front end, exterior, blah blah blah. Or I can do a little bit there, a little bit here, little. As long as, you know, I properly plan how things are going to be. I don't want to build, you know, I need this raised center console area for the shifter, and I don't want to build a center console for a low shifter where I need to relocate it for the Subaru Trans. But as long as you plan stuff like that, you can do it in any order without having to backtrack very much. You're building something custom though, so, or like, you know, doesn't always have to be custom, but you're building something, you're putting parts together that generally aren't supposed to be together. It doesn't come as a kit. So some stuff might not interact as you plan, but you know, there's ways around that. You could save yourself a ton of time. And then the final question, Garrett_50_Cal said, how is it dealing with all the preventative maintenance on your RX-8? And to answer that question, I mean, there's really not much different besides I premix the gas with 2-stroke oil before I fill up. But other than that, it's like a standard piston engine, really. You know, oil changes, you know, coolant, whatever, blah blah blah. I haven't done an oil change since I got the car because it has one of those little stickers that says the oil change isn't due for a couple thousand miles. I just bought spark plugs, which are a little bit more expensive than piston engine spark plugs. They were $20 a piece, and there's 4 of them. Whatever, not a big deal. Swapping LS coil packs, which is what I have on my KAT anyways. So yeah, really it's really like a regular piston engine. You're supposed to rev it to red line at least once a week, but I do that with a piston engine anyways. And it makes cool sounds. It shoots fireballs, so that's cool. Is that preventative maintenance, shooting fireballs? I think so. But that is it. Hope you learned a little bit about me. Sorry, burped. So be sure to follow me on social media, Twitter at Matt6Berries, Instagram at 6Berries, TikTok at 6Berries, Facebook Matt space 6Berries, and you can keep up with me and see next time I post one of these. A post asking for questions for the question and answer videos. Hopefully we can do a couple more of these because, it's kind of fun answering and letting you into my life, my past,